Anthony Edwards came out and said that he does not want to be the face of the league, saying, quote, "I'm capable of being that guy, but I don't want to be that guy." Steve, with LeBron and Steph at the tail ends of their careers, who do you think can take the mantle of being the next face of the NBA?
Yeah, honestly, to me, it's Luka. It has to be him, dude. He's the only logical answer when you look at the around the league at the other guys who could potentially be the face of the league, right? And that's based on the hype that he came into the league with and the heights that he's already reached. Like, it can't be Jokic. He treats the NBA like a 9 to 5. It's not, he doesn't take it serious. He would rather be sitting at the track with his ponies than he would be on an NBA court in any given day. I don't believe it can be Giannis because Milwaukee isn't the type of market that can fabricate a face of the league-esque guy. Like, that's not the market to be in for a guy who should be face of the league, in my opinion. The last guy who I think could potentially challenge Luka for this is Jason Tatum, based on the fact that he's on the Celtics, which is the second most popular franchise and successful franchise in NBA history, and the fact that he's won the finals now, the fact that he's finally gotten over the hump. But even with Jason Tatum, there's something that lacks the charisma, the personality that Luka has. And now especially with Luka going to a LA market and being that heir apparent, I just feel like, to me, the only logical conclusion to this answer is Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I wrote some names down as well, and the only one you didn't say that I'm not surprised about is Wemby.
Yeah, no.
Only because of his, like, I feel like everyone kind of knows who he is because of his freakish, obviously, size and way he plays and all that stuff. But I agree. I think it could only be Luka. I have said multiple times at one point in time, back in the Scandal Sports Hour days, you asked me this question. My answer was Anthony Davis, who I think a lot of people forget was a top 5 player, the best two-way player in the league, back in the late 2010s. But you had mentioned that Tatum doesn't have the charisma or the personality, which is true. He's quiet. He doesn't, say a whole lot. He's not, even like on the court, he's not loud. He's not like smack talking. He's not like, which is fine. You don't be that way, but then you just can't be the face of the league. All those other guys, all those other reasons are valid. And Luka is on the freaking LA Lakers, like a top 3 most popular franchise in sports, just in sports, in the entire world. There is no greater place to be than the city of stars for LA and the Lakers. Also, clear, like, the face of the league will be LeBron until he retires. With Luka then learning from LeBron, like you had said, LeBron retires. Everyone in their brother is going to be tuning in to the Lakers next season to see how is Luka going to carry forward the tradition. So just already getting the extra eyes from being with LeBron now, and then seeing what the post-LeBron era is going to be like. Plus, I think for as terrible as the Dallas trade was, it made Luka and Anthony Davis by association infamous. Like, I don't think, like, even when Luka is towards retirement, this will still be talked about. This will still be remembered that Dallas, Luka, even he was like, I'm a Texan. Like, he had been really embracing the American culture and wanted to be like, you think about where Americans are pumped out of the factory. Look no further than Texas. Like, that's about as USA as it gets. And he was all for that. So, I mean, going from that to this, and like Luka's a guy's guy. Like, he's out there drinking a bunch of beer. He's shit talking on the court. He don't take it from nobody. And he plays like, one of the reasons I don't think Jokic could be the face of the league is because he's not fun to watch. Unless you're a Jokic fan or you're really like a student of the game, he's not fun to watch. Luka, for as slow as he plays, is still incredibly entertaining to sit and be like, how is this guy doing this stuff? But some of the comments he gives on interviews and like his whole, like, remember the Luka and Devin Booker rivalry saga, like stuff like that. None of these other guys have not the ability, but they're just not doing it. It's not in their wheelhouse. So I mean, I think with all of those things, like you said, it can be nobody else besides Luka. Plus, Luka coming in as a rookie and immediately building up this resume of potentially top 25, top 20, 15, whatever all time, already having the spotlight, plus what I mentioned with LeBron in LA and stuff, with the extra spotlight, the brightest star is going to shine.
Honestly, one thing that you said that I hadn't really thought about before was who Luka is off the court and how much he has embraced, like when he was at the Mavs and in Dallas, how much he embraced that Texas culture. But that leads me to another point that I thought of, and that brings the international community that he's brought to the NBA.
Yep.
Luka being the face of the NBA. Correct me if I'm wrong. This would probably be the first international player ever to be the face of the league.
Off the top of my head, probably.
You have guys coming into the league from across the pond, and Luka being that face just helps grow the global market of the NBA even further. We talked about the NBA having a viewership issue in shows past. What better way to fix that viewership issue than to have a guy who is internationally, globally famous and people know who he is across the globe as the face of your league? And you also have to want that title. Like that, there's an anvil on your back when you get that title, and there is a microscope over you. So Anthony Edwards, him coming out and saying that is nothing against him. I don't think of Anthony Edwards any differently for not wanting to be the face because of the added responsibility, pressure, stress that comes with that.
Yeah.
And it'll be really interesting to see how Luka handles that as well, because he's another one of those guys that he hasn't done anything wrong in his career. His career is pristine.
That first press conference with LA, and even him, like Luka coming off the plane, and even his, like, I can only imagine his initial reaction when he got traded. Utmost professionalism. Not a single blemish reaction, not a single Dallas can suck it. I hate them now. It's going to be all against them. I guarantee you, if Anthony Edwards were to be that guy, he'd be up at the Lakers, like up on the stage, sitting like this, sunglasses on. He'd have his hat, and he'd be like, "Yep, we're going to show Dallas. I'm going to get them. They're going to know what they've lost." I'm like, and again, I can appreciate that attitude to an extent. All sports needs that. Time and place, it is just, like I said, there is a tasteful way to go about that kind of stuff, and Luka just walks that fine line perfectly. Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.